Welcome back to MCU Mondays. I'm here. I'm Chris. I also have Vase written down there today because today I'm actually streaming it to my YouTube channel that got me started with Geek News Now. Before I was with Geek News Now, It's a Vase. Look, there's me as a little cartoon. Anyway, I'm Chris. We're here for MCU Mondays, a show we always do on Geek News Now. That's where I'm at now. And as well as singing the theme song, I'm here with two regulars. Debbie's so regular, we even call her my co-host. So my co-host, Debbie, is with us. She's on the social media squad, helping making sure all that the great memes and news and everything gets out to all the different social media accounts over on Geek News Now. And below me, he's been with us pretty much all of the previous shows. Not all of them, but almost all of them. David, he is the leader of the Literary Legion, which is so wonderful with its alliteration. And it's about words, so it's incredibly appropriate time to do that. But he leads the Literary Legion on geeknewsnow.net in all the different articles and news and things, opinions, reviews, all the stuff we have over there on geeknewsnow.net. And yay. Boy, that was a mouthful. So today we are doing MCU Mondays because it's Monday. That's what we're here to do. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everyone. Respect for the soldiers that have given us the freedom to get on the internet and say things. That's not even a joke. I mean that. And I don't want to live in a police state where doing this type of thing would get me arrested. That seems very stressful to me. If anyone swats me because of this, I'm just going to be pissed. All right. I'm not I'm possibly dead. So just please don't do it. It's not what we're here for. What we are here for is to talk about the MCU. Talk about Marvel. And you guys, I was mentioning I was hoping that we'd get a Spider-Man trailer today. I was kind of crossing my fingers. I was like, they put out an Eternals trailer. Are we going to get, were you guys thinking that? We haven't talked about that at all, but I was like, were you kind of secretly hoping we get a Spider-Man trailer today?
Yeah, I was watching Twitter very closely today. I mean, even some of the major outlets was saying, something big this week, trailer-wise. So I was thinking, ooh, Spider-Man, but I don't know if it's because it's the holiday that they decided not to do it. But yeah, I was disappointed. I was really hoping to see a trailer.
That one's not due out till December, right? Am I correct in thinking that?
That's true, yep. Yeah. And we just got the Eternals first trailer last week.
And that one's in November.
Right. So if it's a month away, you have a couple weeks.
I'll give it to the end of June.
Well, yeah, and also
somewhere between now and the end of June.
I'm following. I think it's like at Spider-Man News or whatever, something like that on Twitter. Just to try and follow those kind of updates, and they're suggesting now that in possibly like 2 weeks we're going to see it after the end of like a Peter Rabbit movie or something like that. I don't know, but they're saying it just came out today. They're like, we're thinking they're going to release it before this movie in 2 weeks, but as we've been doing this show, we've realized that they drop a lot of different trailers on Mondays. A lot of different things, like the Sizzle Reel came out on a Monday. A bunch of different Loki trailers have come out on Monday. A bunch of trailers the entire time. It's been like Monday they dropped a trailer on us. It's fantastic. We didn't get that today. But what we do have today is the What If trailer. That's actually coming out in August. So it's coming up pretty soon. And I was talking to both of you before the show. You don't remember seeing this, watching this?
I may have and totally forgot it because if it was back in January or December, senior moment, I don't remember anything.
I've slept since then. So,
Oop. Well, that's the beginning of it. But hold on. Yeah, it came out actually in December, but I don't know where they released it or how it was released. But I didn't remember it before. I was just scrolling through because I was looking for new trailers. I was hoping something came up today, although if it had, I knew Debbie would have sent me a message about it. So I was like, maybe she's slacking. It's a holiday weekend, which is fine. I'll check for myself.
I try not to let you down. As
lo and behold, hey, you didn't let me down. Marvel let me down. Just
Marvel.
I need a trailer every Monday. No, but I did see this one, and I was like, I think this would be a great thing to talk about as it's coming up. And once we get into Loki and stuff, we're going to be busy talking about Loki. We're going to be busy talking about that. But What If is definitely something I'm looking forward to. Let us take a look. What if we watch the trailer right now?
What if?
Let's do it.
Space. Time. Reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a prism of endless possibility.
Well, that doesn't sound ominous at all.
I was promised an army.
You have a super soldier.
You sure don't seem too freaked out about all this, kid. What you doing out there all by yourself anyway?
Exploring the world.
Sounds fun. But why stop at one world when we can show you all of them?
I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and dare to face the unknown. And ponder the question, what if?
Give me the tour.
I am the Watcher. I will be your guide through these multiple realities. This coming out, obviously, before a heavily featured Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange will, be in the multiverse of madness. So,
Give me the tour.
maybe this is some of that kind of stuff. It's also what if. The what if stories have always been like, what if something went completely different? Like, as in Peggy Carter becoming Captain Britain instead of Captain America.
It was Luke read a lot. Luke, my son, has a bunch of the trade paperbacks, the What If trade paperbacks, and he likes reading. What if? What was it? It was what if Spider-Man was actually the Punisher or something? I mean, it was. There's a lot of them, a lot of different little things.
Well, crazy too, like things that are really, wow. That's Peggy Carter becoming, she was closely involved with that story. Kind of makes sense. But one of the other things we saw in this trailer was that's Black Panther instead of
T'Challa.
Yeah, being abducted instead of Peter Quill. And so then he becomes apparently the Guardian of the Galaxy. That's what you actually see in the very beginning. That's him.
It's more than a linear path.
And so he becomes
Of endless possibility.
it's more than a linear path too. The way that they're talking about the multiverse and stuff like that definitely sounds like this is actually even this is the thing that I wanted to bring up is that this is part of the MCU. And when we talk about Marvel, a big focus these days is on the MCU, but there are other properties outside of it. There are cartoons that go on, like Avengers cartoons and X-Men cartoons, X-Men live action things that now will be part of it, but weren't always. But the thing about the MCU is they're very deliberate with what they include in it, and this is a part of it. And I think that there's a reason that they're saying it that way, doing it that way, and I think it will tie in with that multiverse stuff that I think it's gonna have to, because you're gonna have to multiple times get people to accept the fact that because not everyone understands or is used to like comic multiverse theories as much as geeks. So that you got to prime the general audience. What do you think about that, Debbie?
Well, following multiple timelines or stories, I always have a hard time keeping up with them because we have that kind of in the DC universe. I mean, there's, I don't know. I mean, even in Star Wars, you have legends, which isn't canon, but we can think of them as like urban legends or something like that, stories that may have been passed down, and I think that's the way Disney said to look at it. I mean, that I love the legends, and I wish they had taken some storylines from it, but well, I guess they have, but
they've taken aspects of the story.
Yeah. I've read those legend books so many times that sometimes, when I'm watching these series, I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, that didn't happen. It was supposed to happen this way. And so, I'm old, so maybe that's, par for the course, my memories get all jumbled up, but yeah, it's hard to follow multiple storyline or.
Well, you've also lived through different iterations of different characters. You've got your favorites. Not everyone can consume everything. So, also no one's seen everything. I like some things better than other things, but then there's other things I haven't even seen. So everyone's going to have their own opinions, their own preferences. And the comic books are so, that's why you have different runs in comic books, so they can redo the character, restart the character, get them from a beginning, because a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if your character has already had their beginning and is well, through their middle, it's sometimes appropriate to end the story so that it can begin again. And these what if things are like, what if that story that we already told happened in a completely different way? I was looking at it as just like, when I originally heard of it, I was like, well, that's a fun thing. Like, that's a fun thing for them to do. What if? Yeah, you could do whatever with that. It's fun. But when I watched this trailer and the focus that it had on Doctor Strange, and the whole voiceover of the Watcher talking about, like, I'm the Watcher, I will be your guide through like these multiple realities. And look, there's a Loki scene.
There's a Loki.
Boom. God, can't wait for that.
Is he on trial there, or is he leading an army there?
Who knows? What if?
Yeah. He's about to. In fact, it almost looked like he was about to address like the UN.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's Nick Fury. I mean, you've got a bunch of characters, and I'm actually pretty sure this is. Well, there's the Watcher right there. Let's actually listen to that again. I'm gonna listen to that again.
I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities.
So I am your guide through these vast new realities. What does new realities mean? Could this be something like some sort of effect from Loki even?
Yeah.
Because Loki's coming before this, and if not just Loki, then also maybe the Infinity Stones and that time travel stuff. Maybe that's caused even more problems than anyone's willing to admit. Like maybe Tony, what's that?
Oh, I was going to say too. I mean, with Loki, okay, so the basing on the Loki previews, we're going to assume that it's Loki going back and working with the what was it, the TVA or whatever. And they're fixing the timelines. You've only got 6 episodes to do that in. And obviously, according to all accounts, there's a ton of different alternate timelines that you're not going to be able to touch on every one of those alternate timelines within a 6-episode miniseries. You bring this in. This fills in the, okay, well, what about this and this and this? Well, here's your gap filler.
Yeah.
Well, and I could easily see the Loki series being longer than just 1 year. I mean, you know, infinite possibilities with that show.
Well, it's been confirmed by the makers of it that Loki has been on all these adventures. This is a showcase for some of them. He's working at a time travel agency. They're gonna be traveling through time, and I don't know how it works. That's probably going to be revealed in the show exactly how the time travel works. But they have said we want to be able to showcase Loki. That's the title of the show. That's what it's about. It's about, him, and he's been around a long time. The stuff that we've seen with Thor, these were not his first necessary forays to Earth. If you're going to Earth, you're going to need an expert. Oh, is that and Thanos to that is what, your failed conquest or whatever, but he's probably just I've been there tons of times. That's where I'm the god of mischief. So the what if thing, seeing as it is coming after Loki, we could see this as some sort of side effects from that, and also working as a build-up to other things like Doctor Strange, which, when is that coming out? Next year?
February or May?
Yep.
Is it May of next year? Maybe. Is that the May release?
I was thinking it was a little sooner than that, but it could be.
So maybe it was February of next year then.
I just had to stop it on this scene because look at his shadow. That's not how shadows work. All right, it's Mephisto. Mephisto confirmed.
Yeah, there you go. It's Ralph.
There we go. My theory has come true.
It is. So the what if, I'm definitely looking forward to it again for that too. The Watcher. The amount, it looks like Doctor Strange is going to be traveling through different realities and stuff.
Oh, the Captain America zombie too. Yeah. So are we gonna get the zombie?
Where were you?
Sorry. Oh, and there's the donut.
Oh yeah, well that was back in the beginning too.
Yeah.
Captain America. He's not on the moon. He is a zombie. He's on Earth. He is a zombie though, and also an agile one because he chucks the shield. I find that hilarious. Zombie Cap. He wants brains, and he's gonna throw a shield at you to get them.
He wants brains, and he can do it all day long.
I can do this all day long. Marvel, what if? What if?
I think if Star Wars, and like you said, Debbie, I think if Star Wars were to do a series like this, to where it was, here's the legends and here's all your legend stories, and you can have them in cartoon form, I have a feeling that the fan base would just be like, great, we've got what we want, we're done, we're happy now.
Some of the stories, because there were some that were, ooh.
Yeah.
I could do without, but yeah, there was a lot of great storylines and characters, and as a matter of fact, I'm going through my probably third reread of the Legend stories, so I enjoy them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's it's kind of like comics in that respect, in that we had people wanting to continue the story. And people wanting to read that story, and then money, people buy it out, which I find that's hilarious. And the thing I don't find hilarious though is that Disney bought the Legends stuff, and now they're not paying the writers when they're selling their books still. I don't know if you've heard about that, but anyway, that's not MCU Mondays talk. That's Star Wars.
That's
talk.
Another show.
That's a different part of Disney. That's Disney Star Wars, where I have different opinions than when I'm talking about Disney Marvel. Oh gosh. But I don't know what happened to David. I think he has children in there. Yeah. So he's doing important work right now. We're going to start talking about WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We'll start with WandaVision. We're just talking about overall thoughts, overall feelings on the show. And I want to start with Debbie. What was WandaVision? Now that we've had time, you've digested it, maybe even watched it again. Have you watched it again? You just watched it once?
No, I've watched Wanda and Winter Soldier a few times. I won't say how many, but I have watched them a few times.
Well, excellent.
And, I enjoy them both. They're two totally different shows. I mean, you have WandaVision with the supernatural and, her dealing with her grief and the sitcom.
Yeah, just talk
comedy.
about WandaVision right now. Don't compare the two. But so when WandaVision came out, it's the first MCU show.
Confused.
Yeah. So looking back on it now, at the time, a lot of people were confused. I know after the first three episodes, you had people just, this isn't a Marvel movie. I don't know. All the internet was all full of these people. They even released the two first episodes at once. And still after the third episode came out a week later, people were like, this isn't how a Marvel movie works. And a lot of people were sitting there like, yeah, exactly. It's a series. It's not
a Marvel movie. Well, even the trailers, when they first dropped the trailers, I was like, what the hell is this? I was like totally confused, but I love Marvel, so I was willing to watch it. Yeah, I was confused during the first 2 or 3 episodes, like, again, what the hell's going on? But, it's all about story building and character building, because these are two characters we know them from the movies, but we don't know their relationship, because that was really, we didn't get a whole lot of background for their relationship. So we got a lot of that in weird ways, and just the sitcom comedy aspect of it, the commercials. I thought it was a very unique show. I love watching it, and that's just my opinion.
And honestly too, when the first commercials started actually when both of the series were announced, when you had Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision both announced, for me, I was looking at it going, Falcon and the Winter Soldier I want to see, because I'm that one, but WandaVision, and I'm like, I'm not a big fan of Wanda, and I'm not a big fan of Vision. Why am I going to want to watch this? And then it said, oh, look, hello. Oh, we seem to have lost
It's the Debbie
Chris.
and Dave show.
Hey. But they started talking about, it's just Wanda and Vision, and now we've got this. It's like a sitcom thing, and I'm looking at it going, I really have no desire to see this. It didn't appeal to me. And I know my brother was like, he didn't want to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier because he didn't like WandaVision. He said, why am I going to watch it? I didn't like WandaVision. Why am I going to like Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Well, and the thing is, with most new TV shows, it takes a while to get into them. Normally, the first season totally sucks, and then as you go on, either you do or you don't. But most of the time, it works out to where you really get into it. Now, we didn't get that. Well, WandaVision was a lot longer than Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier. So we got a lot more mini episodes, half-hour sitcoms. And it just, I don't know, it just pulled you in, with each episode, because you're trying to figure out where the heck they're going with this. You're just
trying to figure out, and especially with the first 3 episodes, it was like you're trying to figure out what is going on. What exactly? People were mad about it, and I was mad to the point of I was mad to the point of what are they trying to do? I want a little bit further. explanation as to exactly what's going on. Now, granted, it was all kind of spelled out in the later episodes to where it's
Right.
like, oh, well, Wanda's just going crazy and she's holding people mentally hostage, blah, blah, blah. And, but I was like, I'm going to stick with it because it's making me mad because I want to know what's happening.
Well, the one thing I really loved about WandaVision was all those little clues that were put in there. I mean, you really had to watch the episode. Well, the first time I would watch an episode, I just watched it to enjoy it. And then I'd go back and watch it and look for hopefully little clues that would kind of, fill me in as to what was going on.
And really, even like if you so you watch the first episode, then the next week the next episode comes out, and there's something may happen in that next episode that it was a reference to the first episode or something, and so you're like, oh, I got to go back and watch that first episode again to catch that. And then when you watch it on that second or third viewing or whatever, you're just like, oh, I not only caught that, but I caught this too, which also happened in the second episode that I just missed completely. And then you go to the third episode, and it's like, oh, now I got to go back and watch 1 and 2 again because something happened in 3. And then you get to 4, and it's like, ah.
Yeah,
by the end of it, you're just like, I'm not gonna watch any more of it. I'm just gonna wait and watch the whole thing all the way through. I'll binge watch
and
it.
a lot of people did that. They were saying, well, at least on the Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts that I watch closely, a lot of them were like, I'm not going to watch it until I can binge it. Which, I mean, that's fine. Don't get me wrong. I love to binge watch shows, but this got people talking for weeks.
And if you were to binge watch this, it takes away from it, I think.
Yeah,
because
it does.
That was a lot of what I enjoyed was you get to the end of the episode and you're like, and then it's like roll credits. It's like, you can't roll the credits now. You're just about to say something and you can't do that. Oh, it'd drive me nuts. So
Chris lost internet, so that's why he's
rebooting. He's not sure what's going to happen. So I guess we carry on without him.
Carry on. My favorite Kansas song, probably. Big Supernatural fan. Woohoo!
Oh, no, I was actually thinking of the South Park episode, the Guitar Hero South Park episode.
So anyways, back to Wanda. I think it was genius of Marvel to not drop all episodes at once because it got every, the water cooler talking or conversations. Everybody was talking about it for a week until the next episode came out.
You had time to digest it.
Yeah. And I mean, I did it with my daughter who was watching WandaVision, and, throughout the week, have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet? And then, we would compare notes as to, what was going on or our theories or whatever. And that's what I like. This show, especially WandaVision, you got to come up with a whole lot of theories, even though
there was a lot going on.
Even though some of mine have not come true yet, but we're waiting for Doctor Strange to see
Mephisto.
Yes, right. Or Nightmare. I'll take either one. But
well, and one of the harder things about this show too was like for me personally, I could not watch it until Friday evenings, actually Friday nights, because I had to go to work Friday and I was not allowed to watch it without my son, so I had to wait for end of work, and then we had to wait and put the little baby to bed, and once he's in bed, because you don't want the show interrupted,
Right.
So once he's in bed, so you're talking like 8:30, 9 o'clock on Friday nights. The hardest thing is, and especially within the GNN community, you had people that would stay up until midnight when it actually dropped and watch it, and then they're on the chatter. Oh, did you see it? Oh, I can't believe this happened. You're like, no. I got to stay off social media on Fridays because I don't want to get anything.
I didn't get up at I didn't stay up till midnight, but I would get up extra early on Friday mornings just so I could watch it, because I knew somewhere
So did you get up?
Somehow.
So did you time it for like an hour, or did you look and say, well, this episode is probably only going to be like 35 minutes, so I can get up 35 minutes early?
I would just get up an hour early and, just in case you just.
Because it was all over the place.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Different times for their episodes. So yeah, I always just got up, and I did the same thing for Winter Soldier. I got up an hour early. Well, for them, a little more than an hour because
it had some
those
long
were
ones.
pretty close to hour episodes. So yeah, and I'll do it for Loki most assuredly because we all know how much I love Loki.
Nope. Again, I'm going to have to wait till the evenings.
I have to get up in the mornings because if I don't, somebody is going to spoil it for me. Either on Twitter or on Instagram or Facebook. I'll see something and then I'll get all pissed off because somebody ruined it for me. So that's just me.
Yep. Well, again, that's why I stay off. I try as hard as I can to stay off social media for the.
Well, it's hard when you're the part of the social media.
Yeah, when you got to be on there.
I have to be on there, so that's really difficult to avoid any spoilers or to try and scroll past something real quick without seeing too much. But that's just me. I'm kind of anal that way. I've done all these Marvel shows. I'll Star Wars too. I'll get up early so I can watch them before I go into work.
Oh, now see, we were on a holiday weekend. We didn't watch The Bad Batch until today.
Ooh.
We were out of town and enjoying the holiday. So
I'm a hermit, so I don't go anywhere. So, so for Wanda, have you had any change of heart as to what you think might happen in Doctor Strange?
No, it wouldn't surprise me if if her kids were reintroduced. Not reintroduced. Let's rephrase that. If they're brought back, maybe, or there's some personage of them. If they're there, if they make an appearance, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me if we see White Vision.
Oh yeah.
So
I definitely expect to see him.
And White Vision is probably just like Red Vision now because, he, in my opinion, he downloaded all of his memories to him. So he's just basically Vision 2.0. But
yeah, I don't think he'll have the emotion part of Red Vision. I think he's going to be kind of like more like a Data.
Well, and you know what's very interesting about this, about thinking about this, now that you've said that, the whole emotion thing, because now I'm thinking about this and I'm like, okay, so Peter Quill lost Gamora. Thanos killed Gamora. And then 2014 Gamora came to 2023, and she's now running around, and you've got the Guardians of the Galaxy, and she doesn't know that she has any feelings for Peter, and basically they're going to have to restart their entire relationship. Is that going to be the same thing with Wanda and Vision? Are they basically going to have to, for a better term, reboot their entire relationship? Are they going to have to start all the way back over again?
I don't know, because in the comics, I was trying to remember, in the comics, I think her and White Vision do try to do something, but I can't remember if it works out well or not, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how, and of course, the MCU tends to run a lot differently than the comics per se. As far as storylines go, they take aspects of the comics for the movies, but they don't follow it. What's the word I'm looking for? Word for word. It's not a.
They do a what did we used to call it? They do a Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of it's not the exact story, but it's pretty close.
Right. I think
a Reader's Digest version. How's that?
Right, there you go. A condensed version.
And there you go.
I do think we'll see Agatha. I think
so.
It's gonna happen one or two ways. Either Agatha's gonna break out of her entrapment there in that town, or Wanda is gonna ask for help.
And I mean, you're dealing with Agatha, and then Wanda's coming back in Doctor Strange. So again, another magic user. So yeah, it would just kind of make sense that Agatha may or may not be there.
Well, and here we go with the comics again. Agatha was her mentor. So whether they follow that, that's going to be interesting to see, or if they're going to take it in a totally new direction. So that'll be interesting to see. And to see how all the multiverse, what kind of chaos and weirdness and whatever is going to happen. I'm really excited for the movie.
I'm excited too, but I really hope we're not in for another boner alert, because
we need our boner alert.
We need our boner alert because, well, I mean, you think about it, and in the previews for Spider-Man Far From Home, you had, oh, this guy's Mysterio. He's from another dimension, or he's from another universe.
Yeah.
And he fights these monsters in that reality, blah, 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 blah. So, and then, of course, the movie came out. Well, before even the movie came out, I told Luke, I was like, that's not how this is happening. He's like a bad guy, and he wants to be a superhero. But I basically had the movie pegged before it came out. So, and with Marvel doing things like throwing the Hulk into the Infinity Wars trailer. Hey!
He's back!
On my phone. Because my internet on my computer is just not working right now. What happened to why?
So anyway, I'm just wondering if they keep saying, "Oh, it's the multiverse of madness," and it's going to touch on the idea of a multiverse, but you aren't really going to see anything, and it's just there to kind of throw you off.
Oh man, I hope not, because
I hope not too.
I think that would totally piss off a lot of people, myself included.
That would be the boner moment.
I really don't think they're going to go that route. Gosh.
I honestly hope they don't, but it's a possibility. It really is.
I can't do the boner moment right now.
That's okay.
Oh, wait, maybe I can. Oh, my gosh, if I can do this from my phone. That's crazy. Never actually tried to use my phone for this.
Awesome.
Not a terrible setup, StreamYards, for their mobile account. Kind of impressive, actually. So what did I miss? I don't know. I'm sorry about that.
Well, that's all right. Not your fault. We've just kind of been going over WandaVision. Still, trying to figure out like what we think may happen, or if we think any of our theories may pop up into multiverse of madness.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff in WandaVision that's kind of left hanging open. I mean, what happened to her? I'll just fly away. I'll save this witch for later. That other vision, I don't know.
Right next to a huge steaming bowl of foreshadowing.
Very, very true.
So there's definitely a lot of
speaking of Deadpool,
and hopefully we'll redeem that boner alert.
Yes, That is one of my other theories. But I think this would be a perfect opportunity to bring Deadpool in. I mean, we haven't heard anything. We haven't seen any casting as far as that goes, but perfect opportunity to, I mean, it wouldn't have to be, he wouldn't have to be in it throughout the show, but it would be nice to see
a little cameo.
Yeah, little cameos here and there that, just to prove that, he can bounce from reality to reality or universes or whatever you want to call it. So I think that would be a nice surprise cameo moment to have in that movie.
I'm always down for some Deadpool. You know me.
Me too.
Since it's Ryan Reynolds too, that's like double your, fun.
Or double your pleasure. Whatever.
Double your pleasure, double your fun. Yeah. I'll leave that one to Debbie.
It's mine, all mine. Woohoo!
That be. Hey, and also if he can convince Hugh Jackman to come out of retirement to play Wolverine again.
That would be awesome also.
Indeed. Hey, it's a multiverse of madness. Who knows?
Who knows what we could see? We haven't seen trailers for that, so.
Overall, Falcon and the Winter Soldier did have a couple. I mean, the original, of course, but it also had that I've got a astrophysicist friend who can help us out, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, Reed Richards," and then it's just like, "Oh my gosh," it's like a character that we're not even sure if that character has a name. What a payoff for that!
It's you in the military uniform.
Hint, yeah, it was like, "Oh, I've got a friend in the military." It's like, yeah, you were in S.H.I.E.L.D. And that's not. It's not a good payoff for what you set up, essentially. But that some of those types of things. Whatever happened to that beekeeper guy? Well, not a beekeeper. He went in there in a hazmat suit. Wanda made him look like a beekeeper, and that was just like the last. Then they did a rewind.
What happened to the FBI?
How many people did she kill during this? I want a head count of like who is dead now because of Wanda.
Did she actually kill people though?
I don't know. I want to say there's some of those operatives that are no longer alive, but even if it was just psychological torture, it's still not. Hey, she didn't murder anyone. She broke the minds of an entire town. She didn't murder them. Yeah, now they have to live with that shit.
She traumatically scarred them.
If she had murdered them, we might be able to let her off the hook. They were actually begging for it at one point. I don't know if you remember that. Kill us. Just kill us. If you're just not going to let us go, then just kill us. I love her. Oh, yeah, she's amazing. Scarlet Witch. She's literally a witch. I don't know what to tell you. Looking forward to seeing her again in Multiverse of Madness, though, especially with the kids. Hinted at the end, another of the hints, another of the setups. What happened to her children? What happened to that version of Vision? Possibly in the multiverse, possibly chaos stuff, and possibly some of that stuff maybe even brought Pietro or Fietro around in the first place. Agatha was talking about how hard it was for her to do multiple spells and that kind of stuff. So how did he get that speed? You're telling me she enchanted him and gave him speed, and he just happens to look like. I'm really hoping that they were just actually playing a joke on us, and they do have a plan for that. But
well, now we got.
You know what? If they even want to cover it up, I'm willing to accept it in this case. If you want to cover it up by making it something, I'm willing to be like, good for you. I accept it. But you can't just leave it with you're Ralph Boner. It was what was that? It was a Rickroll to the audience. Anyway,
it was
MCU Mondays, home of the boner alert.
Well, and now you got the original Pietro being casted as Kraven.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's in the Sony stuff.
But that's in the Sony universe, yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson in the Venomverse. Oh, or probably soon to be Spider-Verse, based on things I've been hearing about No Way Home. But yes, Aaron Taylor Johnson was just cast as Kraven the Hunter, which looks to be another like standalone villain movie, which is interesting. I mean, it seems like they're giving their villains a lot of standalone.
It's the same thing that Disney's doing. And I guess it's a fad now. It's the sympathetic villain
Anti-hero?
thing. Yeah, well, anti-hero. Disney just came out with Cruella, and it's like, oh, she was the villain in 101 Dalmatians. Yes, but
yeah, she wanted to kill 100 puppies to make a coat for herself.
Actually, it was 99.
Praise her as
counting,
a rebel. Okay. You know
and then you had Maleficent.
Everyone's counting.
You made Maleficent. You made 2 movies about Maleficent. She's gonna prick her finger and die. I am going to kill her on her 16th birthday. But she had a hard childhood. She was just, she was abused and blah 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 blah, and she just completely misunderstood. Zemo, I'm gonna destroy you.
Shed a tear for everyone.
There
is no black and white. It's all just shades of gray. Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Loki's the same way. Oh man, I would love to have a Loki standalone movie.
You have a mini series. It's basically like 2 movies. It's a longer. It's a 4. It's what? I mean, if they're each, let's say, 45 minutes long, I'm hoping they're a little, like that long or longer each. But that's like, that's like one extended edition Lord of the Rings movie right there. That's you know how many awards they got? That's good. That's good stuff.
Speaking of awards, am I hearing right? Did what's her name get nominated for Agatha? For an Emmy?
I don't know off the top of my head, and
I'd have to go look that up. I thought I
clearly
saw
having some
about
trouble right now.
She did, and she won.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Her and
well, that was the MTV Movie Awards or whatever. Right?
Are we talking about something different?
Oh, I thought it was the Emmys. My bad. I mean, I thought she was nominated for an Emmy for that, but I don't know.
Could be.
Or we're still a year out from that.
I don't know.
Since it just came out this year,
so I don't know.
I don't either.
I always wait till the next day and see who won.
I watch what I like, and if the award shows don't like it, well, whatever. So we've got one of the comments says, as much as I love Marvel, I'm not too excited about Loki. Are you guys excited about Loki?
I am.
Not too excited about Loki. Let's see if I can find this here.
I am very excited about Loki.
There he is. Yes, I am excited about Loki.
As much as I love Marvel, not too excited about Loki. Are you guys excited?
Are you not a
Loki
fan, or?
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty excited for this, even if I wasn't a Tom Hiddleston fan, which I've become. I've enjoyed his Loki stuff. He's really had a lot of fun with the role, which I think is important with the God of Mischief. And it's good that I think it's gonna be fun to see him really, really dive into it. This is like about Loki. He's not just a foil for Thor or the villain or whatever. This is about him. And not only that, we've got Owen Wilson in the show. If I knew nothing about the show other than the fact that Owen Wilson was in it, I would still be like, I'm going to check the show out. So it's got Tom Hiddleston as Loki. It's got Owen Wilson playing some sort of time cop.
Is it Morbius? Mobius?
Agent Mobius, yeah.
Agent Mobius, yeah.
And as we've just seen, we've got Miss Minutes, as David said, reminding him of the DNA guy from Jurassic Park, the little mascot. Hey there, y'all.
From your blood.
So from what we've seen, and also I'm a fan of the more magical aspects of like the MCU and things like that. So don't get me wrong, I like Captain America. I like that, hand-to-hand combat stuff, blah, blah, blah. But if you tell me there's time travel and magic and stuff, I'm definitely more interested. So for those reasons, I'm definitely excited about it.
Yes.
and you are also a Loki fan. You're a Loki fan, and you're not excited for it.
Oh.
Well, hopefully the show will change your mind. I think it's going to be a fun show. It's going to be Loki all the time. I mean, how can you not love that?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
you know,
when
he's going to be doing all kinds of shenanigans. And
when the Miss Minutes trailer came out, I'm pretty sure Debbie sent me a message on Facebook that was just like, naked Loki trailer. And I was just like, well, I know what we're doing this Monday. Watching the naked Loki.
Watching naked Loki.
What can I say?
So they definitely know how to get people interested. Yeah, I've been looking forward to Loki the most. I would agree with that comment. Out of WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and Loki, I think I was most excited, and still am most excited for Loki. WandaVision surprised me. I enjoyed that more than I thought it was. I thought I was going to. And part of it is member berries or like nostalgia. The way, but they did it with love. It wasn't just like we're gonna try and use these things badly just to get your attention. They actually went through a lot to mimic the styles of the old shows, to get the theme songs, and actually to go through the series changing slightly the aspect ratios of things based on what was used at the time and the film. And so that for me really impressed me, and other people probably didn't give a crap about that in WandaVision, but I noticed it and I loved it. So that for me made that show even better. Falcon and Winter Soldier to me was kind of like, hey, it's a good popcorn Marvel characters, MCU characters that you're interested in. Interesting, fun, but not like I was like, ooh, I'm desperately excited to know what's going to happen next in the show. I wasn't as, big. I didn't care as much about that. I just was there to enjoy it as it came out.
Actually, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was looking forward to that one more than I was looking forward to WandaVision, because Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was ready for we're not thinking our way out of this one. We're going to use punchies and kickies to get out of this one. So I wanted the punch kick blow stuff. I wanted the Michael Bay. I was ready for the Michael Bay series, if you will.
I mean, I think you did get a lot of that.
Yeah, we got quite a bit of action. I mean, compared to what WandaVision was.
Right.
It just wasn't structured in the same way as like a TV show or a movie. Like I remember the first episode came out and I was looking at the reactions online before I had seen it, and people were complaining about the lack of action in this show. And I go and watch it, and the first 15 minutes of the show are like Falcon doing some full-on movie-level stuff and taking on down helicopters, and a flashback of the Winter Soldier murdering a bunch of people. And then the rest of the show wasn't necessarily action-packed. And I was like, are you complaining that the entire show wasn't just an adrenaline rush the entire freaking time? If you have some level of action, and you have to, and then kind of take it as a whole. I think that's...
Well, what I don't understand is if we look at Marvel's, the way they have structured all the movies, I mean, it all led to Endgame. Well, Infinity Wars and Endgame. It all leads to something. But you can't
see the big picture just yet.
Yeah, I mean, you had 20 movies, 23 or 20 movies before we got, or 20, I don't know. I've lost count.
The whole thing was like 22, so yeah.
They've been setting stuff up even for after Endgame, as we talked about.
We got some hitters.
They're good. They're not a team.
Let's beat them into shape.
Avengers?
Right next to a huge steaming bowl of foreshadowing.
Exactly. So people who complain about, well, it didn't have this, or, too much, character building story arcs or whatever. It's like, it's going to lead to something, whether it's Thunderbolts, Dark Avengers, East Coast Avengers, or West Coast Avengers. I forget which one it is.
Young Avengers.
Yeah.
They're all in there
it's
too.
going to lead to something, but gee whiz, have some patience, will you? I mean, Marvel has not, movie-wise, has not failed in building that world, to where, some of the movies are, but I mean, they all tell a story. They're all connected. And I think they're doing the same thing with the TV shows. They're all going to be connected somehow, some way.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what the MCU is. It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And until they actually decide to really break it up, it all is one larger extended story. And they've even mentioned how, like, the Infinity Saga, that's what a saga is. It's like a connected, important story. And that saga is over, but there's other sagas to be told, maybe with some of the same characters, maybe with some new characters. And that's, I think, what they're doing right now is setting up some of those new characters. Literally, even in the Eternals trailer, now that Captain Rogers and Iron Man are gone, who do you think's going to lead the Avengers? I could do it. Yeah, and everyone laughed at him, as they should have, because you just compared yourself to Iron Man and Captain America without even blinking. You eternal fool. Icarus, you're flying too close to the sun. You're gonna get burned. But I guess as we're looking at it, we're talking about great comments, by the way. Love the comments so that we can talk about the things that you guys want to hear about. And I liked this too. Okay, this makes me more excited. I just feel like Disney and Marvel lately have been doing things that are more for money. Well, it is that is the money. Goal. It is. They do want the money. But hopefully, you hope that they realize the way to make the money is to make compelling stories as best as you can, focused on the story, what is best for the characters in your story, not just about fads or things in the latest Twitter hashtag. Oh, let's get on top of this, let's get on top of that, let's throw this into our story, even though it's not necessarily about that. That's actually, I mean, if you've seen the Powerpuff Girls debacle that they're dealing with right now, the live action Powerpuff Girls thing, they've they shot the pilot, scrapped it. They're saying we're rewriting it and reshooting it, and that was after there were supposed leaks, and I've read the leaks of those, and it's just garbage writing. I can't believe that it's actually a real leak, but they are actually reshooting the whole thing. But I don't know what. That's the other thing, is not everything works well in live action. For instance, to put that in a Marvel comparison, like, I don't think Powerpuff Girls should ever be live action. I don't think MODOK would have worked well in live action.
But he works good in animation.
It works much better in animation because of the animation styles you can use. The more you try to make something look real, the more you have to actually add like reality to it, and the less some of these things works. Part of why Powerpuff Girls was so fun and funny was because they didn't have fingers. They just had things would pick up when they put it's just a round end of a hand, and so you can't make those jokes when you're trying to make it real life, and Instagram and all of these things that just you're clearly pandering. People were interested in the Powerpuff Girls. Where are they, and who are these women talking about leaking nudes? And what does that have to do with Powerpuff Girls, CW? What does it? And that was what was literally in the script. There was some terrible stuff in there. So Marvel has been doing much better at that. They're actually, and notice what the titles of the shows have been. WandaVision. It's about Wanda and Vision. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Pretty much about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's also about U.S. Agent a little bit, even though he's never even called that in there. You see Power Broker, but it's mostly about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So much so that at the end of it, the Falcon isn't even the Falcon anymore; it's Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And Loki, top of my head, just going off a guess. It's got to be about Loki, you know?
Oh, I thought it was going to be about Mephisto.
Loki. I can't wait for the
Mephisto could be worked into that. You don't know. You don't know, Dave.
You're right. You're right. He'll be the bad guy.
Ralph Boner's going to appear as a bug in the Mephisto movie. And he's just going to be like,
"Hey, I'm Ralph Boner.
Here I am.
Yeah.
I'm just an actor.
Get excited. This is a Luke Skywalker level cameo right here." We'll have to have a day where we set aside to talk about some of the media or the clickbait that's come out of these shows, because my goodness, people are even talking about how they're like the Spider-Man movie, the new Spider-Man. I saw this guy posted. He's like, the new Spider-Man movie is just ruined. It's gotten too ambitious. It's too full of itself. There's too many rumors floating around. He was pissed at the new Spider-Man movie because of all those things. And I replied, I was like, is it the movie's fault?
You know, it's all.
Is it the movie's fault that people make up rumors, that clickbait exists, that social media exists? Did the movie put too much hype on itself? No, it hasn't even released a trailer yet. Okay, you have put too much hype on this.
Yeah, I mean,
you did it.
Nothing's been confirmed. I mean, we've heard Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire is going to be in it.
And Andrew Garfield.
We don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
apparently not. I mean, who knows anything at this point? The actual confirmed people are Doc Ock from one of the other Spider-Man movies, and that alone should lead like, whoa.
Is it what's his name? Alfred Molina? Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You know, when they do something like that, everyone gets excited. Hey, oh, what if that's Pietro from the Fox universe? I bet they're going to start the X-Men crossovers now. No, but it's a boner joke. It's literally just a boner joke. So now people are like, whoa, you're casting the Doc Ock from way back Spider-Man. This must be a confirmation. Maybe not, people.
Yeah, we may not know till a trailer drops, but they may not drop it in there either. So
yeah.
Yep. And I think people are feeling like, how have we not gotten a trailer yet? And I'm feeling that too. But at the same time, I think it's compounded by the fact that we just went through 2020 and COVID and all the delays. And so we have movies that are still yet to come out that we had previews for 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
As the perfect Marvel example, yes, exactly. We saw the first trailers for that 2 years ago. That's why the other day we were watching some new footage, and I saw someone in the comments that was like, that's kind of boring. It was just a car chase scene. And I was like, they've released so much of their footage from this movie. I don't know. You can't
we're going to go into
anything else without.
We're going to go into the movie completely unsurprised. It's going to be like,
something to hit movie. People with. Yeah. In the previews for the past 2 years. And so that's tough. And I think that's why also they're holding tighter to these other trailers, these other things a little bit, in favor of, you know, let's hype up Loki now because we've got Loki coming out, as opposed to the barren wasteland that was 2020. 2021 is just chock full of content, especially now that we're in like the streaming wars. So they're competing with, you know, Paramount Plus, it's coming up, HBO Max, all these different things. Disney wants to say, we're it.
Oh, and Amazon just bought MGM.
Course, yeah.
So
yep,
that's a big, because now Amazon has access to all of that library.
They do. They have access to the library, but it depends on if they will actually make it available for people to stream, and if there are other deals still happening with those movies. Because even though you know, yes, we've agreed to buy the library, you also are beholden to the agreements made before that, aka if MGM said, these people have broadcasting rights to this content until whatever year. That doesn't just go away when you buy the prop. You're just still beholden to those agreements. You just own the company now. So after that, if you want to change it up, or if you want to try and renegotiate, it's within your rights, things like that. But it's not just like all of a sudden all of those titles are going to appear. Just when Disney bought out Fox, yeah, all of a sudden The Simpsons are on Disney Plus, but there are tons and tons and tons of other Fox movies in like the Fox distribution library that aren't just on Disney Plus now.
Well,
one of my film professors was just complaining about this, actually. Go on, David.
I was going to say the same thing happened with Disney Plus itself when it launched, because Ant-Man and the Wasp and Infinity War was still on Netflix, and it did not make it to Disney Plus until that contract or whatever had expired. The Mighty Ducks movies were all under let's say Stars or Cinemax. One of the pay channels had those for a while. I mean, they just came on last year
because they were their strategy was to sell. It was like most people were, to sell the rights to things to make money off of that, so that people could broadcast it, but they have to pay you for it. But then their corporate strategy changed. They said, we're going to start our own streaming service. We've got to stop doling out the rights to all these different things. Star Wars was actually one of the ones that they didn't have access to. It was Turner Broadcast Company or something like that had the rights to broadcast that for a long time. Even after they bought it all the way back in 2012, it was only recently they got like the originals and stuff like that.
Oh, you're talking about the Bakshi and the Bakshi cartoon series and the Ewoks and droids and all that.
Well, some of that stuff, but also actually the original trilogy. Disney, once they bought it, had leased the rights out to a different broadcasting company to air it on TV.
That would have been TNT, yeah.
And then they were like, we're starting it, and Disney Plus actually started up before they got the rights back. So that was kind of funny. But it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, you're trying to gather as much into your library as you can, but at the same time, that doesn't actually necessarily guarantee you that you can use all of your library at the time, depending on what the current agreements are. And it's just like how Netflix has different titles available in America that are different from the titles they have in England or Europe, whatever. And sometimes you'll see like Netflix posts like, oh, I'm so glad Friends is back on Netflix, and you're in America and you're like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? It's like, well, I'm in the UK. Time to enable my scrambler. Make it look like I'm also in England so I can enjoy the American sitcom Friends. I don't know. But it's crazy things like that do get in the way. And it does seem, though, that Sony has made a bigger deal with Disney. Some executives have come out to say, I think we've got a great thing going. You know, we both want each other's movies to do as well as possible. Sony wants Disney to do as well as possible, so that Disney also wants Sony to do as well as possible. And they're going to keep doing these crossovers. And he said, I think people are going to get a clear idea of exactly what I'm talking about after this next Spider-Man movie. So, again, that could just be him trying to hype up the Spider-Man movie. But there are some hints in there. And with all the multiverse stuff coming up, all the what if, all the multiverse of madness, I definitely think there's room for crossovers. And again, as someone said in the comments earlier, it feels like they're just doing it for money. They do like money. And I think for that reason...
I like money.
I like money. It keeps me in yachts. Plural.
But, I mean, you know, yeah, they're doing it for money. But as long as they have quality shows, quality storylines, character development, you can't complain. And so far, I think they've done pretty damn well. So,
shut up and take my money.
Yep. That's right.
Yep.
I'm on my phone, so I'm just like scrolling, still scrolling. I have too many video clips. Not true. It's much easier on my PC, but that is imploded. God, we're hoping it's going to be okay. But right now,
No, that's not right. No.
Smoke billowing out of it. Thought I heard a gunshot. I think my PC just backfired. Anyway, we can't play the Hulk clip that I wanted to play.
Oh,
because of this. So
was it the trailer for the movie? Or
it was the 1977 one back in the day because we had so much fun watching those old trailers before. And hopefully we'll be able to do it next week. Next week we're going to be talking all about Loki, getting ready for Loki by talking all about Loki. We're going to be looking at Loki. Can I say Loki more? Loki. We're talking about Loki.
Lucky.
We're looking at Thor 1, 2, and 3, as well as the Avengers and Infinity War and Endgame. He is in all of those, as he's about to be in Loki, and who knows where he's going to end up next. That's what we're going to be talking about next week for sure.
Did you notice under Disney Plus they have the Loki collection?
They're hyping for it, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
working.
I'm getting all
Mephisto confirmed.
Woo! I'm sorry, guys. Sorry.
That's not just you. That's like a whole internet joke. You're not, Daddy. It's not like you're the only person that thought Mephisto. I'm still like that. He was the bug and the bird
and the stork.
I am not letting go with that. I'm not until we see Doctor Strange.
Don't ever apologize.
I still think there's something more for him too. So
well, maybe
I'm not giving up.
Maybe it'll be prior to Doctor Strange. Maybe it'll be Loki. Maybe we'll get the bigger hint in Loki to where it's like, okay, this is the next big bad here, or this is the big bad that's coming.
We'll have a low-key Bernie alert. That's what I was. That was the.
No, they're not.
Damn it, John! That was the joke.
Oh, John.
Well done. So I think we're finished. My arm's getting tired.
Oh.
I had to hold this camera up because my internet died. And now I'm on my cell phone. And my cell phone's getting hot. So I'm going to go figure out what crisis has befallen my computer. I wish you all the best. And thank you for tuning in.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Adios.